Michael is the kind of guy that you love to hate. He is always in a good mood, Mr. Goody Two-Shoes, and always has something positive to say. When someone would ask him how he was doing, he would reply, "If I were any better, I would beat twins." Have you ever met people like that? Well, he was a natural motivator. If an employee was having a bad day, Michael was telling the employee how to look at the positive side of situations. And seeing this style really made me curious. So one day I went up to Michael and I asked him, "I don't get it. You can't be a positive person all the time. How do you do it?" And Michael replied, "Each morning I wake up and I say to myself, Mike, you have two choices today, boy. You can choose to be in a good mood, or you can choose to be in a bad mood. I choose to be in a good mood. And each time something bad happens, I can choose to be a victim, or I can choose to learn from it. And I choose to learn from it. And every time someone comes to me complaining, I can choose to accept their complaining, or I can point out the positive side of life. Guess what I choose? I choose the positive side of life." "Oh yeah, right, that's so easy to say," I protested. I responded to him. "Oh yes, it is," Michael said. "Life is all about choices. When you cut away all the junk, every situation is still just a choice. You choose how to react to situations. You choose that. You choose how people will affect your mood. You choose that. You choose to be in a good mood or a bad mood. That's your choice. You see, the bottom line is, it's your choice how you live." So I reflected on what Michael said. And soon thereafter, I left that industry to start my own business. And we lost touch, but I often thought about him when I made a choice about life instead of just reacting to it. And several years later, I heard that Michael was involved in a very serious accident, falling some 60 feet from a building, working on a tower. And after 18 hours of surgery and weeks of intensive care, Michael was released from the hospital with rods placed in his back. I saw him about 6 months later after the accident, and when I asked him how he was doing, guess what his response was? "If I was any better, I'd be twins. Want to see my scars?" So I declined to see his wounds, but I asked what had happened, and more importantly, what had gone through his mind as the accident took place. And the first thing that went through my mind was the well-being of my soon-to-be born daughter. This is what he said. And then as I lay on the ground, I remember that I had two choices. I could choose to live, or I can choose to die. But I chose to live. "Weren't you scared?" I asked. "Did you lose consciousness?" And he responded. He said, "The paramedics, they were great. They kept telling me I was going to be fine, but when they wheeled me into the emergency room, I saw the expression on the face of the doctors and the nurses. And guess what? I got really scared. In their eyes, what I saw was they're saying in their mind, 'He is a dead man.' And I knew I needed to take action. So I asked Michael, 'What did you do?' So he said, 'Well, there was a nurse shouting questions at me. She asked if I was allergic to anything. And I said, yes, absolutely. So the doctors and the nurses stopped working as they waited for my reply. And I took a deep breath and I yelled out, gravity. And over their laughter, I told them, I am choosing to live. Operate on me as though I am alive. Don't operate on me as though I am dead. Dear friends, Michael lived. And thanks to the skill of his doctors, but also because of his amazing attitude, I learned from him that every day we have the choice to live and to live fully. After all, attitude is everything.